All right, day 68. It's supposed to be chest and shoulders, but I tweaked the right chest a little bit on the last chest day. So, not bad. Like not serious, but definitely feel it. So, I don't want to. If you pulled something, depending on the severity of it, right, that should dictate whether or not you just totally back the fuck off, or, if you just start doing some lighter stuff, right? So for me, it's not as though every pec movement is going to bother it. It's only like more so like heavy pressing. So even though it's not in a ideal condition, I still want to work it as much as I can without, re-injuring it. So for chest, I'll probably just do a variety of flies. Honestly, yeah, probably just a variety of flies. Maybe a little bit of pressing if it doesn't hurt. But worst thing you could do is hurt yourself more. That's completely counterintuitive. So I'll just get some chest activation. It won't be like a crazy stimulating lift, but better than nothing. I'd rather do, as much as I can rather than just totally nothing, right? And then for shoulders, same thing that I always do, just a ton of face pulls and or like bent over rear delt flies. And then for side delts, it's going to be just like 11 sets of lateral raises. Maybe I'll throw in a few varieties. Like, I love the dumbbells the most, just standing dumbbell lateral raises. Cables, like cable one arm is fine. The machine lateral raise, that's fine. So, it's whatever. You can't really, like, even though you can change up the movements, it's all going to be the same feeling for side delts. You're just going from here to here. So, whatever way you like to do the most, just get a good burn. So I'm going to finish drinking this pre, and then we can get in there. So, not necessarily my most intense workout, considering, for me, shoulders is more so just about, like, getting a burning feeling. Like, I'm never exhausted out of breath after a set of, like, lateral raises or face pulls or the reverse pec deck. That's more so just really trying to squeeze, feel like a really good burn. And usually, I'd go hard as fuck on chest, right? Load up a lot of weight, throw it around, but, a little bit tweaked, so went light, still got a fucking sweet pump, blood flowing. That's going to be good for fucking recovering, too. Like, just being sedentary, let's say you have, like, some sort of, muscular damage. Let's say you pulled your hamstring or I mean, yeah, like, I've referenced this before. Pretty much right around Christmas, I was doing laying hamstring curls. Full stack. I may not have warmed up all the way. That may have been the culprit. It was the first time I'd used this particular hamstring curl, so maybe it just hit me at a different angle. But whatever. Doing the set, 5 reps go by good, 10 reps go by. The 15th rep, right kind of in the lower portion outside. I'm not an anatomy major, but big ass pull. Like, I was limping. Like, hamstrings that day was done. There was no more hamstrings to be hit on that leg day. I was limping out. And, even though my hamstring was fucked up, of course I still did my, my seated bike cardio, because that's not going to activate the hamstring, but it's still moving it around and gets some blood flowing. And then once it was strong enough to move a little bit of weight, I was doing a few, probably 2 weeks of, like, just light hamstring workouts. So literally only maybe a few pins on the stack for single leg stuff. And I swear that's going to improve your recovery. Now, like if you rip a tendon off or something, you got to get a surgery. But if it's just a minor thing, let it rest. But once it reaches a level where you can move it around and add a little bit of load, I would definitely recommend trying to be as active as possible. I was saying the same shit earlier, especially when you're injured too. Like, don't just sit back and rest. Try your best to work around it without re-injuring yourself. So I ran out of dextrose. That's why I didn't have the shake last night. But back again, 50 grams dextrose, 50 grams protein, post-workout. I'll explain after I finish it. Oh, yeah. It is unsettlingly sweet. It's like my go-to phrase to describe that. Oh, God. So, in terms of your supplementation, call it creatine, vitamins, your diet, your sleep regimen, one sort of slept-on factor is taking dextrose post-workout, right? I'm sure everyone's heard of like powerlifters eating candy while they're working out, or something along those lines, right? For energy, whatever, whatever. But in terms of improving your muscular recovery post-workout, obviously you're going to want to eat something. You're going to want to eat some sort of carb and some protein that is just going to, be fast digesting, and start the recovery process on your muscles, which you just, like ripped down to shit and inflamed and pumped up. So if you want the simplest carb possible, right, you're not going to fucking get a whole wheat sub from Subway. You're going to want some sort of sugar, right? Now, you can't just drink like a juice or just eat a bunch of candy. Well, you can, but it won't be ideal because that's not the simplest form of sugar, right? That's going to be, typically like a fructose or a sucrose, and those are like multiple carb molecules combined. You're going to have to break them down in a few extra steps before, you can actually spike your blood sugar. Now, the simplest carb that you can get your hands on is going to be dextrose. Dextrose is just one carbohydrate molecule. I think somebody called it a monosaccharide, if you want to sound all professional and scientific. But what that's going to do is as soon as you take down 50 grams of that stuff, it's instantly going to spike your blood sugar, which is going to spike your insulin, which is going to trigger an insulin spike, which is going to tell all your muscles to just start absorbing these carbs, right? And the more glucose that you got floating around your muscles, the more energy they're going to have, and then guess what? The more energy you've got floating around, the more you'll be able to spend on recovering. So, basic gist, 50 grams of dextrose, maybe 25 to 50, depending on if you're dieting, post-workout will improve your results over the long term. Now, is it going to be insanely drastic? Who's to say? But it definitely will be better than any other post-workout meal scenario. So, I said this, I hinted at this before. What's in the jug? You guys love asking about what's in the jug, even though it's the same shit every video. It's Tang. It may as well just be like orange Kool-Aid, right? It's just an orange sugary drink powder. Why do I drink it? Does it have special properties? No, I just like it. For whatever reason, I just enjoy it. I think I had it as a kid, so it kind of has some nostalgia factor for me. But I haven't got tired of it yet, so I'm gonna keep on drinking it. There's no BCAAs in the intra workout drink either. I think that's a sham. You're not gonna get any bigger if you got BCAAs floating around, right? There may be some argument to be had about EAAs. That'd be essential amino acids, right? So the difference between the two is like the branch chain amino acids is I don't even remember, leucine, tyrosine. I don't know. There's a fucking bunch of different amino acids which make up protein, and EAAs. If you ever look up that supplement, that's a complete protein, right? If you were to take in 5 grams of that, you're going to break down all 5 grams and utilize it properly. Now, the BCAAs, it's not a complete protein. It's just like a few different specific amino acids. And as long as you had, a protein shake or, you ate some sort of meat pre-workout, you're going to have enough amino acids floating around anyway. So I think that the BCAAs are something to be left off of your supplement shopping list, right? Just get your creatine, your pre-workout, which consists of some sort of, or not some sort of, it should definitely have at least a few grams of citrulline, maybe citrulline malate, same kind of thing, L-arginine, and caffeine. As far as I can tell, all the other ingredients are just for show. It's like whatever. So your pre-workout, your creatine, take your multivitamin, one a day. It's going to be good for you. Make sure you've got all your deficiencies handled, and try to sleep good, and you should be all right. Whoa. So let's see what else is going on. Yeah, shit, not much. I mean, back in the normal gym. I got back tomorrow. It should be a pretty damn good lift. Got cardio first in the morning. 30 minutes, man. All I do is sit on my phone and play Clash Royale. I have a fucking blast. It's not that hard. I will admit it. I can see why it may be a little bit daunting, just because it does kind of become a time commitment, right? If you drive however long to the gym in the morning. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to do it, but I'm telling you, it's going to improve your results. If you're dieting, obviously it's going to let you burn more calories throughout the day, so it'll be easier to lose fat. And then if you're bulking, you're going to burn more calories, so you're going to have a better metabolism, better digestion, and you're not going to get so fat when you're eating in a surplus. So cardio year-round. Ideally, non-negotiable. So I'm going to go home, eat my fucking... Actually, I might get some kind of takeout food. I don't know. It's not that late. Whatever. I got like 2,000 calories left to eat. And then I'm going to bed. So, I'll see you next time. All right. Oh my goodness. Day 69. Holy crap. Back day. Relatively quick lift, just because, this is the only day where I'm only doing one dedicated muscle group, right? Arm day is tris and bis, legs is hamstrings and quads, chest and shoulders, obviously chest and shoulders. And then, like in this split, back is just back. Obviously calves every day. But, makes it easy to go hard. And back's a pretty big muscle. So, full-on back workout should be pretty fatiguing. Oh man, I was just thinking something. Shit. Whatever. So, Oh yeah. So in terms of the length of this bulk, it ain't stopping. It is not stopping for the foreseeable future. All right, we got a few more months of this to go. So again, nothing to change. Just gonna keep the food up. Get ready for the, rebound back up to 250, which probably shouldn't take more than 2 days. Because I've said this before, if you're bulking up and you miss your meals, and you eat a little bit less one day than you should have, like you're 1,000 or 2,000 calories low, you're gonna drop like 2 pounds, because you want your body to be just overfed constantly. So as soon as you give it a little bit of slack, it's gonna try and clear itself out with all that extra, whatever floating around. But let's just finish this pre and then fucking get in there. It is late, so it should be nice and empty. I'll be unencumbered for a indisputably thick and wide back pump. I am fucking dead after that. But not a complicated workout by any stretch. Just bent over rows, moved on to pull downs, moved on to a few different cable rows, and then pull downs again. Just by sitting here, I can tell I'm fucking pumped. Let's try not to rip my shirt when I take it off. Oh man. I cut this stringer a little thin. Like all these tanks that I'm wearing, they're all just t-shirts that I fucking cut up. You can do the same. It's not that difficult. That's pretty wide. All right. So, I was thinking about this earlier. I saw this fucking TikTok that was funny as hell. And perfect example of how the people that you interact with are going to rub off on you, or the people that you associate with. It was this video of a bunch of fucking pit bulls, or whatever. They're all just walking around some guy's house, and then it cuts to a cat that was like, must have just lived with the pit bulls, and instead of sitting all feline or whatever, this cat was standing up like this, like they thought it was a fucking pit bull, just because that's what it was around all the time. So, I'm not saying don't interact with somebody if they don't necessarily align with your goals or whatever. That's a little harsh. But you got to be able to have the foresight to recognize when someone is saying some self-depreciating shit, or trying to convince you to skip your lift or come out and drink with them. Then you're going to be fucking plastered the next day. You're going to have a shit workout. You got to recognize that sort of shit's going to rub off on you. Now, of course, we're people, so we've got the mental ability to kind of try to block that out. But that's got to be an active process, right? That's one thing that I like about social media. Unrelated to all the negative whatever that goes along with it. It can show you the top 0.1% of any realm. Be it lifting, whatever. Obviously, I'm only interested in the lifting. And you can think to yourself, wow, those guys are fucking huge. Holy crap. I'll never get like that. Or you can think, holy shit, those guys are just like me once. Let's fucking get after it, right? Because if you tell yourself, oh, I could never get that big, then you got a 0% chance of getting that big. All right? At least if you can convince yourself that you can do it, then you'll have a fighting chance, right? You'll actually go for it. So this is a little bit more catered towards the hardcore, bodybuilding aspirees, not necessarily just the casual lifter, but you don't have to. That can fuck with your head comparing yourself to others, especially when you see people post their perfect lighting edited photos on Instagram or whatever. That's its own little thing. But you can think to yourself, holy crap, they're so far ahead of me. Man, I'm fucked. Right? Not an ideal mindset. But in my mind, if I see somebody bigger than me, obviously I'm not the biggest dude around. I'm not thinking, wow, those guys are fucking huge. I'm thinking, I'm fucking coming after you. Right? I mean, if you can convince yourself there's no limit, then that's the rate at which you're going to progress. So I'm going to finish up some calves, then we can get some car talk going. Hope you got a little bit motivated by that by that little speech. Oh, okay, back just got thrashed. Very happy about that. So, got the post-workout shake. Let's just slam it before we get out of here. Oh. 50 grams dextrose, 50 grams of protein. Most rapidly digesting carb post-workout. It's just going to jumpstart your recovery, keep you nice and strong, and in a dieting context, help maintain muscle. In a bulking context, help put it on. So I think about this a lot. There's a variety of mental states, right, of lifters in the gym, and I sort of put them on like not necessarily a single criteria rating scale, but I do think a little bit more highly of some and a little bit more negatively of others. So probably one of the worst ones is lifting for somebody else, lifting to get someone else's approval. It's just not. Ugh. What the hell are you doing? You're letting them control your life? It doesn't make any sense. You broke up with your girlfriend, whatever. Then you're thinking, man, I gotta fucking, you know what? I'll show her. I'm gonna fucking show her. Here we go. You start lifting. What's gonna happen once you get, reasonably impressive looking? Like you're just gonna be done, and then you'll probably just end up like a standard lifter, making zero progress after you hit like a certain size. Just like the general lifter. Another one is when you're just dying to look a certain way, right? You are just itching for a look. You're scrolling Instagram, you're like, holy crap, look at that guy's fucking huge. Oh, that guy's so lean. The leanness gets me. Here, I'll get into that in a second. But again, with that sort of mentality, right, you're lifting to reach a certain goal, or at least, look a certain way, and subconsciously you're going to be attributing your self-value to that specific state, right? So sure, let's say your goal was 180 with abs, maybe even some arm veins thrown around. Let's say you get there, you're finally starting to think to yourself, man, this is good, I like this. 2 months later, you fucking what would happen to you? Let's say you you get some kind of badass sickness. You are sick. Weeks. Some kind of whatever. You lose a ton of muscle. You drop down like 30 pounds. You can't go to the gym. You can't eat. Then you're going to be thinking to yourself, oh my God, fuck, look how I look now. Oh, this sucks. Oh, it's just not ideal either, right? And there's a variety of other reasons, you know. If somebody's just in the gym super pissed off every lift all the time, using it as like a coping mechanism, I mean, those kind of posts really annoy me too. Like, I see a ton where it's some schmo lifter and the AI generated voiceover is like, this is Tim. No. This is John. John goes to the gym every day to destroy his body because he hates how he looks. Just, corny, lame, and for the most part, you're probably not even thinking like that, right? The enlightened lifter is aware that he's going to look a certain way during different transitional periods of his progress journey, right? Like the enlightened lifter isn't going to be upset when he loses his abs because he's doing a bulk, because he knows that he's going to build muscle underneath of that, which he'll be able to reveal later on. And then once he starts dieting down, you know, he knows that, you know, staying under that calorie limit is what's going to let him lose weight. And even though he's going to lose strength and his lifts aren't going to be as impressive, he knows that losing that body fat's just going to make him look more diced. So, the general idea I'm kind of getting at is the more you deviate from just lifting because you want to get bigger, right? The more you deviate just from that specific goal, it can get a little bit funky with your mentality. Not to say it doesn't work. You know, I mean, I'll see all sorts of big dudes post some shit like that, saying, you know, I got bullied in school, so now I want to get whatever. For me, I mean, I was always like athletic. But when I started, I was like 160. And then, for whatever reason, I got the seed planted in my mind. I want to get fucking big. And I know that being big comes with all sorts of just general benefits. Who doesn't want to fucking walk around like the big dog? Sweet. Tomorrow is going to be arm day. Should be a skin-splitting pump. I gotta go to bed, take my vitamins first, get a little bit more food in. Then I'll see you next time. That's it. Day 70. That came up on us quick. Arm day. A good old-fashioned arm day. I've never really been a fan of doing like a push day, like chest and shoulders, and then triceps at the end of it, and then, you know, back, and then you do biceps at the end of that. It's like, for one thing, I never get a good pump because, you know, my triceps or the biceps have already been fatigued, and then like it's just not just not in it. Plus, who doesn't want a fucking arm pump, you know? So again, my time management skills are off the charts. Not because they're so good. It is, it's an ungodly hour. So gym should be close to empty. So let's just fucking get this pre going and hopefully blow my sleeves off by the time I'm fully pumped. Alright. The exposure down. That's going to add about 10 pounds of lean tissue. So, Again, same as every arm day. Reason is simple. Just a variety of heavy movements, both curls and fucking push downs. So, oof. Wish I brought that measuring tape again. No. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Yeah, hard to complain about that. All right. So, let's get little calves going. I gotta get the fuck out of here. It is beyond time for bed. Luckily, I have no morning obligations tomorrow. Technically today. So, let's just get out of here. Whew. Arm day complete. Solid pump. Honestly, biceps didn't feel like perfect. Tries were crazy. Like, I don't know if I could even say what would dictate what exactly affects how good a pump feels. Because I know it wasn't the workout, because I've done that same sort of lift before. You know, like pretty much basically the same exercises and whatnot. I don't know, some muscles you're just gonna feel a little bit off the next day. Either way, ton of blood flow, certainly stimulated growth. So let's just slam this post-workout protein dextrose blend, 50 grams each. Watch another car talk for the explanation. Oh, gross. What was I just thinking about? Ah, man, I was just thinking about something. Fuck. Well, whatever. Got a glimpse of the morning crew. That's how fucking late I was in there. That's fucked up. That's no good. So, again, this bulk is not stopping. I'm just gonna keep going until I say so. At least 2 months. I gotta hit 260, man. That's the goal. That's the number. I mean, you know, the goal is obviously just get as heavy as possible, every bulk. But, you know, using my, what's the term? My ability to extrapolate data, looks like 260 would be pretty much up there. And then, I mean, it's starting to look like I'm getting kind of big, so maybe instead of just a dieting series next, it'll actually be like a show prep. Whoa, wouldn't that be gnarly? Well, we'll have to see. My mentality with that is, you know, since right now, in terms of bodybuilding, I'm a novice, right? Have yet to compete. So the goal would be to do the same shit that James English did, right? You want to do your little you want to win your national qualifier, and then you want to get a little pro card. And then it's just a whole new realm of growth after that. But you know, I don't necessarily think about the getting on stage aspect of it. That's something that a lot of people like. If you're a legit like bodybuilder, a lot of dudes, they'll get decently big, whatever, and then they just compete every year, uh, just as like amateurs, and they go in, they do their show, they place wherever, and then they do it again the next year, and that's it. Even though they're a higher level than the amateur lifter, they're still plateaued. That's the one thing that you want to avoid, right? You're not going to want to reach a legitimate plateau. And by that, I don't mean like you're gaining weight or you're gaining strength and then it starts to slow down for a few months. I'm talking about looking the same year after year. Even though you're still putting work in the gym, maybe you're focusing on your diet a little, but if you can just put a little bit extra thought into it, right? You got to think, if you stay the same, if you look the exact same every year or for a long period of time, then all it takes is a little extra effort, just a little. That's going to push you over the edge and make you start progressing, right? But being in equilibrium, that just sucks, I'd say in all aspects of endeavors, probably the most important thing that's going to result in you, progressing over time is the ability to make changes, right? To sort of look at yourself in a calm and collected manner and think, I've been doing arms every day, and my arms aren't that big. Maybe this isn't the best way to go about it. You know what? Man, I do always feel like shit every weekend after I go out. Maybe that's not ideal. Or whatever, You get what I'm saying? So, a lot of people can get sort of defensive about weightlifting or like bodybuilding, lifting in general. Like if somebody goes up to him and is like, "Hey, are you counting your calories?" Or some shit like, "Dude, you are not doing that exercise right. What are you doing?" That's not. It'll come off as a lot of the times when people come at you with suggestions like that, it's going to come off as sort of an attack on you, right? It's like, why are you doing that? It's so stupid. But as I've been saying, the enlightened lifter isn't going to take that as an insult, right? He'll at least take a few seconds and be like, is this guy right? Is this guy actually telling me something that's based in fact? Now, maybe he's telling you something stupid and you can just brush it off. But, anytime that you can sort of assimilate new information, right? Or maybe you see somebody doing some sort of weird lift that you haven't tried before, or they're doing some sort of weird variation or drop set, maybe go up, ask them what's going on, what's the logic. Worst thing that's going to happen is maybe you'll have an awkward moment and they're like, "I don't want to talk to you." And best case, some guy teaches you some brand new way to do push downs or something random, I don't know. It's never going to hurt to know more and to have more experience. So I got 3 more steps for tonight: vitamins, meal. Okay, 4. Vitamins, meal, shower, bed. And legs tomorrow should be frightening. Should be a frightening pump. So I will see you next time. We're about to go destroy legs. It's terribly late. But a perfect time to go to the gym if you don't want anybody to be in there. Usually I don't really mind, but it does make it a little bit easier to get these videos recorded when the gym is closer to empty. So, standard procedure. Gonna destroy hamstrings first. Pretty much just do a few varieties of seated hamstring curls. Start off, crazy heavy, like heavy as possible. And then for quads, gonna get some squats first, then maybe move on to, move on to some other stuff. Variety of leg extensions, maybe single leg press, sissy squats, maybe some Smith machine sissy squats. We'll have to see. But either way, should be a frightening pump. So we're gonna finish this pre and then we can get in there. It's starting to feel like a war of attrition, man. I'll tell ya. It's easy to hit the gym when you're fucking excited. You're full of energy. When you're tired, man, that's where you find out how bad you want it. I could easily see how a non-negligible amount of lifters would have gone into a leg day with the amount of energy I just felt like I had and said, yeah, I'll go light. I'll skip the squats. I'll go light. I won't go hard. I'll just make it a light day. What the fuck? Never. Come on, let's get real. Let's get real, man. You only get one life. You gonna go easy? I don't necessarily think like that all the time. But I mean, yeah. You're never gonna regret going hard in the gym when you're tired, right? At least, for the most part. You get what I'm saying? Because hell, now I feel good. Lift done. Pump acquired. Another day under the belt with some muscular progress. Couldn't be happier than that. So, I'm going to go home this weekend. I will, so I'll probably have, I don't know, maybe I'll lift before I go. There may be a different location in the next few days, but maybe not. I'll have to see. So in terms of the chest, the very slight chest pull, it's coming along. So tomorrow, chest and shoulders, and again, chest is going to be light. Really, just focus on the pump. Focus on some squeezing movements. So you can still get a pretty good pump going light. And I mean, there's just no point trying to push it so hard that I'm going to re-injure it again. So the origin of this little pull, because it's been recurrent, was I was lifting at the school's gym. All the benches were taken. So I had to do the flat bench. And of course I never do flat bench. And I just jumped right into it extra heavy. So if you get into something that you haven't done for a while, even if you're feeling strong, maybe use some caution. Because when I pulled it then, it was real good. There's no bruising or anything, but just flexing it a little, even inadvertently, moving it around when I was laying in bed, I could feel it good. So with any injury, as long as it isn't surgery inducing, your best bet's gonna go light. Don't do anything that's gonna hurt it. And if it is surgery inducing, then take that advice with even more scrutiny. Because the worst thing you could do is you go in, you have some old doctor guy sew you back up, and then you're just gonna rip apart all the shit that he did. Not cool. Not cool. So got the dextrose shake, 50 G's of dextrose, 50 G's of protein. You could probably get away with less dextrose. Like when once I start cutting, I'll probably drop it down to 25 grams because, dextrose, it's carbs. It counts in your macros. So I'm upping it now just because, I want more calories. But I'd say for maybe the smaller lifter, 25 grams will do you good. But if you want to push it, man, do your 50. So let's just fucking slam it. Try not to crash in the process. Yeah, it's hate it. Really not good. But in terms of gains, that shit's gonna add up, yo. I've said this before, but you're gonna want to look at a lot of different little factors in your life, and you can optimize it to improve your muscle growth and your strength. So, what are those going to be? You got to take your Flintstones multivitamin every night. You got to count your calories, make sure you hit your protein goals. You got to go to sleep at a normal hour. I really need to learn that one. And you take your creatine, your pre-workout. Shit that is proven to work. Guess what? You should probably be doing it. So, for the beginner lifter, when I started lifting, I didn't necessarily have everything down to an exact science. I convinced my parents to buy me creatine, even though they thought it was bad for me. It was going to mess me up. Had them get protein powder. I didn't do pre-workout for the longest time. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't remember what my reasoning was. I think I used to say I didn't want to be dependent on caffeine. That was my logic. Which, I mean, shit. If you're really sensitive, you get all jittery. Just get something stim-free. Just the arginine and the citrulline. Improve your blood flow. But so yeah, when I started, I never did a proper bulk per se. Really, all I did was just went to the gym, went hard, and made sure I hit my protein. I was probably eating too much protein, honestly. Like even back then, when I was maybe 170, in the 170s, I was probably doing like. I'd have days where I did like 300 grams of protein. Oh, yeah. May not have been completely necessary, but you want to go too hard, then not hard enough. And then, I just kept lifting, I definitely had the intensity down. Like, I didn't have a problem getting up, going to the gym, going hard. I guess I just kind of had the training discipline already implanted in my mind because I wanted to get bigger. And when I started, I was doing a lot of volume. Like I was doing 5 sets of 5 exercises for every muscle group per lift. And I would do I did a variety of different splits that I came up with over the course of time, but always hit everything twice a week. But yeah, so chest was 25 sets of chest. It'd be like 5 sets of bench, 5 sets of flies, 5 sets of, whatever. Now, that much volume, it's going to be too much. In the sense that you'll get the same results or better with less. I still made really good results doing it like that. And I think that just kind of goes to show that You know, like I say a lot, your workout plan and your split, it's not the most important thing. Your intensity is going to override it. So, and I remember we went on vacation once to Michigan. Like we went to this little this lake. I think it was Petoskey maybe. And there's a badass gym there. Like it had a commercial gym on the first floor, and then like a dungeon in the basement. Oh man, it was badass. But the day that we got there, I couldn't lift, and that was back day. So rather than skip a day, and mind you, this was back when I was like 175, early lifter. I could probably go back and find the timestamp, but I can't right now. But so I missed my back. I think, yeah, I was doing push-pull legs at the time. So I missed my back and bicep day, or my chest and tri day, I forget which. So instead of just moving the split up a day, I just added the back and the bi workout to the next day. So I got up, got on my bike, rode over to that gym, and I was probably in there for like 3 hours straight. Because I had to do all of chest, all of back, all of triceps, all of biceps. Now, the intensity on each set wasn't there, just given the sheer amount of volume, right? Like if you do that, if you're in the gym for like 3 hours like that, you're not going as hard as you could be. But I definitely look back fondly at my mindset and my mentality, where I was like, shit, man, we missed a day. Got to catch up. Let's just add that workout. Yeah. So now I'm a little bit smarter about it. Maybe I would have just pushed the split back a day, but it's never gonna hurt to be an insane hardcore lifter like that. So a little bit of lore. So I'm gonna get home, take my vitamins, eat a little bit more food, and I'm ready to pass out. Like, honestly, I think I better just shower first, because if I lay down right now, I'm just gonna instantly go to sleep. So at least try to do your cardio, man. Even just a little. It's good for you. So I will see you next time. Position. Well, I'm at a freaking parking lot. Well, I ran out of Tang on the way to the gym. I didn't run out on the way, but I was out. So, little Kroger stop, re-up. Got some apple juice as the intra workout. So today's gonna be chest and shoulders. I'm not gonna go crazy on chest, as it is in a compromised state. Very mild pull, but I'll still do as much as I can without re-injuring it. So chest will be first. Pretty much just spam a few cable presses that I like. Maybe do some pec deck or some cable flies, and that'll pretty much just be it. Get a pump, feel the burn on the sets. And then shoulders, honestly, kind of similar. Like the intensity on shoulders is nothing like legs or something like that. It's really just going to come down to how many just sets of lateral raises can you handle without losing your mind. Like for side delts, I mean, I could just sit in front of the dumbbell rack, do 11 sets of dumbbell lateral raises. I'd have no problem with it. But if you've got an ADHD dopamine dependent brain, I could see how that could seem a little bit repetitive. But hey man, that's what fucking works. So let's drink this pre and then get in there. I've been told before that when I'm just walking around the gym, I kind of have like an unapproachable vibe. I don't think it's even just because of the size. I think it's because like if I'm just sitting in between sets, I'm not really not really smiling or anything. I'm just sitting, I'm being all serious. That's funny for me to hear. It's goddamn monsoon out right now. It just chilled out, but there's thundering. I'm all wet. Aish. Let's just get straight into the dextro shake. God damn it. Oh my god. Wow. Oh man. Especially if you're eating a lot of food, the dextro shake is gonna hit your stomach hard. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Good for you though. Good for gains at least. So let's get out of there. Chest felt good. Rear delts felt good. Side delts felt good. My sleep's been kind of whack. Not even just because I've been sleeping at weird times, but the last couple days I had some erroneous tasks to complete, so I kind of let my sleep get away from me. I can kind of a good telltale sign of your level of arrestedness is going to be your grip strength, right? Don't tell me how I know this. I just heard it somewhere. Somebody was talking about it, but I can vouch for it. Like, let's say it's midday, you got a lot of food in you, and you just squeeze your fist as hard as you can, like you flex your whole forearm. You should be able to gauge how much strength you can exert at that one moment. So, obviously, if you had like a dynamometer, I think that's the term, the little grip test that reads your force output. If you didn't get any sleep and you didn't eat a lot of food and you're like, whoa, you're straight up exhausted, you're not gonna be able to squeeze as hard. But whatever. So, wasn't in a perfectly ideal situation before that lift, and honestly, freaky. Honestly, like even through chest and rear delts, I was feeling like tired. I'm like, geez. All right, more sets to go. But then I came around with a second wind. I was scrolling a few TikToks in between sets. I saw a few that kind of hyped me up. And then finished off side delts super hard. Sweet pump. So, even if you're tired, you can catch a second wind if you can get excited enough. And let's take it to the extreme, You go to the gym, you're tired, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I am really tired. This sucks. You keep looking at the clock. Oh man, this is the worst. Oh, I'm so fucking tired. I should just go to bed. Or whatever. If you've got that mentality, you are not going to get a second win. Because you're just, by saying that to yourself, you're making that your reality, that you're really tired, right? Because if you think it, that's another story. But worst thing you could do is walk around to somebody and be like, man, dude, I am so tired right now. Oh, this sucks, right? At least say some shit like, man, I'm fucking tired. That sounds so dorky. Dude, I'm really tired. I'm gonna get after it anyway. Yeah, some of the motivational crap like that, it does sound kind of silly. It's a little it's very cliche, but there's some truth to it. You know, you may someone left a comment. How do you work out when you're tired? How do you still go hard when you're tired in the gym? Because I was tired on my leg day yesterday. Uh, yeah, yesterday, and still went hard. And really, I mean, it's just like it's just how bad do you want it, Because what's motivating you to go to the gym and go hard? Let's simplify the situation and just say you want to make progress, right? You want to get bigger, stronger, whatever, leaner maybe, whatever. You want to make progress, right? That is the motivation, or that's the goal. That's the benefit that you're trying to achieve, right? But the cost to get there is you got to go to the gym and you got to work out, right? You got to exert energy, become relatively uncomfortable for a little while, and in some cases, if you're tired, I mean, it's going to be hard. So if you don't really want to get that big, if you don't have a larger portion of the motivation compared to how much you want to not be in the gym and like working out, then you're not gonna you're just gonna skip that day, or you're not gonna go in, whatever, right? Because you want to you don't want to go hard more than you want to get big, if you can imagine what I'm saying, right? So even if you're tired, I mean, and you got a crap lift, the pump's not really coming along, in the long term, it's just going to be way more beneficial for you to push through it, make it to the end, overcome some level of adversity in your life. It's kind of funky in the first world. It's like, you grow up, you go to school, you're supposed to get a job. That's the end of it. That's the average person. So, what does a hero do in a story, right? What does the main character do? He overcomes some level of adversity, and he shit. What am I thinking of? What am I? I'm gonna scratch this out. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? So, end of the day, you'll feel better to just go in the gym and hit it. Toughen up. So, tomorrow's gonna be back day. Interestingly enough, it will actually be during daytime. Can you believe it? A lift that doesn't end in the AM. Incredible. So I'm gonna go home, take my vitamins, shower off. If I'm responsible, I'll fold my laundry. To be determined. Then go to bed. So another lift under the belt. The more lifts you can finish in your lifetime, the better. That's what I would certainly imagine that to be true. So I will see you next time. God damn it. Daytime. What the heck? I think YouTube doesn't want you to swear in the first few seconds, so I gotta be careful about that. But shit, man. God damn it. Whatever. Back day. It's freaking back day. So, same as usual for back. I mean, no deadlifts. Really not a big deadlift guy. So, just do a variety of rowing movements, pull downs, pull overs. Just get a freaking abhorrent pump. What else can you ask for? So, I'll throw in the calf training at the end too. I at the end of every lift, I'm like, all right, let's go hit some calves. But I'm not gonna show it every lift. I think you get tired of it. So, I'll throw that in. Maybe do we get a calf pump check. It should be good. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. I think I'll just do like as many sets as possible with 315. Oh. Fuck. I just bumped my fucking knee with a plate. Whew. Oh. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Those fucking rows are feeling heavy. Those fucking rows are feeling heavy. But still got through it. Let's just break out some lat pull downs. Maybe go a little lighter than the whole stack. And again on these, I mean, like it's cool to throw a lot of weight around. Like you'll fatigue your back. But if you go like a bit lighter than you can handle and try to squeeze it at the bottom, more than likely that's at least gonna help your training. Thinking 3 sets of single arm pullovers ought to feel pretty good. I'll move on to finish off with 2 sets of something. So again with these, it's not like, you know, you're working your lat with a ton of tension, right? Because this isn't a ton of weight. You know, the idea is to really squeeze at the bottom and get that burning feeling. I think I'll just finish off with 2 sets of pull downs again. No drop sets or supersets or anything this lift. It's pretty basic back day. And I didn't necessarily plan it, but today ended up being like more of a pull down lat focused day. Typically I just do a mix of like rowing movements and pull down movements. But I don't know, I guess today I think I just like the feeling of pull down movements more. So your lifts don't have to be the exact same every workout. I think it's going to be more beneficial to just change it up, like week by week, kind of go by feel. That's sort of something you just have to learn over time. Like for the beginner, it's probably a good idea to just have a setup routine and try to progressively overload with that. But after you reach a certain level of training experience, I think you just ought to go by feel. Do what you know is going to let you load the most weight and get the best pump. So 2 more sets of this and then back will be done. So I wear the same hat every lift, every day. Do I wash it? I do. I do. I do wash it, goddammit, every so often. I'm not a complete heathen. Yeah. There's people over there waving at me. Oh. Oh. All right. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. So, what am I? That is such a simple lift. Literally just 11 sets of basically whatever the hell you want. 10 to 20 reps, and make sure you squeeze it hard. And I can almost guarantee that doing that kind of lift will make you grow. Yeah, hell yeah. So, I mean, you be the judge of that pump, right? You saw everything that went into it. The only limiting factor that I would, say is pretty much foolproof fact is how hard you're willing to go in the gym. Even if you don't track your macros or whatever, just from eating food, you'll get enough energy to at least build a little bit of muscle for sure. And then if you just go crazy hard in the gym, even if your workout is like maybe not ideal or insanely methodical or effective, if you just go to the gym and go hard, you'll make progress. So, main idea, just go hard, goddammit. Let's do some calves. So, the seated calf raise has got to be my favorite. Just feeling wise, everything. Like the ones where you stand up and you have the the weight getting pressed onto your shoulders. Like those are fine, but for me, I kind of feel like it just puts a weird pressure on my knees. I don't care for it. I'd rather just do seated one leg at a time. So I've been doing like maybe not near daily, but calves at least 3 times a week, like forever. This whole time I've been lifting, and for the longest time, I would just try to load up as much weight as possible. Bounce it around for a couple of reps. And then, by the time I've done 8 sets of that, I've got a pretty gnarly pump. But as of late, I've been going lighter, slower reps, really squeezing it. They both work. Like honestly, whatever you do As long as you like, your calves are tired at the end and they're pumped, guess what? That means that you did something that's going to be effective for growth. So I'm just going to sit here for fucking 8 sets. I'll maybe show 1 or 2, and then we can go check the calf pump. God damn it. Oh. Okay, so just imagine that 7 more times. I'm gonna do it, but I'm just saying I'm not gonna show you. There we go. Let's zoom in, get the calf cam going. But yeah, well, certainly a little something going on for sure. Let me fucking hold on to this for balance. There we go. Yeah, hell yeah. And what did that take, you know? An extra maybe 15 minutes sitting on my phone scrolling TikToks? You know. I'm telling you, daily calves, it works. There we go. Let's zoom in, get the calf cam going. Let's see, but yeah. Well, certainly a little something going on for sure. Let me fucking hold on to this for balance. There we go. Yeah, hell yeah. And what did that take, you know? An extra maybe 15 minutes sitting on my phone scrolling TikToks? You know. I'm telling you, daily calves, it works. All right. Back day complete. Well, back in calves, but you know, every lift is in calves. So I'm telling you, man, your calves can handle it. You're walking around on them all day. They're used to frequent activation. I made this argument before, but you know, you wonder why really heavy set guys have big calves. It's because they're working them every day, all the fucking time. So, you know, if you're a little bit on the lighter side, you're not getting all that work on your calves throughout the day. So, you know, just 15 minutes at the end of the lift. I mean, I'm not even killing myself when I do them. I'm just getting a good squeeze and a good pump. There's kind of a gradient in the intensity of training. Like, obviously when I'm doing squats or the bent over rows or like heavy bench, you know, that takes a considerable amount of like focus and energy. So, you know, that's not a lift where you're going to be fucking around on your phone while you do it. But, you know, if you're sitting on like the adductor or something, or, you know, in this case, like the little calf raise, it's not a, at the end of the lift, I mean, it's just kind of a more chill vibe. It's like you got the hard stuff out of the way. Now you just add in the calves as a little bit of fluff work. Same with cardio, you know. Every time I do cardio in the morning, it's not like I'm, you know, doing high intensity sprints and like getting mad out of breath. You know, I just sit on the seated bike 30 minutes and just fuck around on my phone, you know, build up a sweat. It's weird to gauge the cardio because like there's if you do it on a machine, you know, it'll tell you how many calories you're burning. My I guess I would describe my go-to number on I think it's like the Lifetime Fitness machines, like a Lifetime Fitness bike or treadmill or whatever. I'll pretty much do it at a at an intensity where I'll burn about what it says is 10 calories per minute. So after 30 minutes, the machine's going to say about 300 calories. And then usually about halfway through, I've already gotten a bit sweaty. So the whole point of the cardio isn't like to go really hard and just like burn out. You're just trying to raise your heart rate for, you know, a reasonably extended amount of time. So if you grab onto the little sensors, it should say, I don't know, at least maybe 140 or something. I think when I do it, it gets up to like 150s. I don't really remember. But as long as your heartbeat is elevated, it doesn't matter what form of cardio you do, right? You could do the Stairmaster or the treadmill or the seated bike, the standing bike, the one where it's just a fan that's blowing air at you. If you like really hurt your leg or something, you could do the one where you pedal with your arms. If you've ever seen if you've ever seen that machine, I mean, it doesn't matter the form. And if you don't want to go to the gym, I mean, run around with your dog in the morning or something. Whatever, just do a little something right when you wake up. It'll make you feel better. And everybody gets the idea in a dieting context. You're going to use your cardio to burn more energy, and then it'll be easier to, you know, burn fat off your body. But in a bulking context, it's still just as useful because it's going to keep your metabolism higher, right? Because during the day, you're going to end up burning more calories. So your body will be used to dealing with just more food in bulk. You're not going to get so winded during your lifts because your fucking, you know, your cardio is up, right? I've gone through periods of time where I've skipped cardio for like months on a bulk, and I can tell that my training endurance, at least in terms of like how easy it is for me to like lose my breath after a really heavy set, I can tell that it is way worse if I skipped my cardio versus if I do it. So, oh shit, enough of that. Got a dextrose shake to slam. How the hell did I forget? I gotta kind of hype myself up before I drink this. I hate it. Oh my god. Yeah. Insanely sweet because, I mean, the dextrose shake is just like what is essentially 50 grams of sugar added to your protein shake. But post-workout, pretty much as soon as you're done, get some kind of simple carb, spike your insulin, trigger some recovery. There's some legit logic to be had there. Some legit gains. It's kind of weird seeing the, you know, the normal gym, what's the word? Normal gym attendees, and not the ones that only go at like midnight or later. I feel like a vampire out during the daytime. Freaky. So, I got my whole day of food left to eat. Take my vitamins before I go to bed. And shit. Arms tomorrow should be a pretty damn good pump. So, I'll see you then.